Chapter 1. The Girl on the Auction Block. Dust swirled through the summer air like restless ghosts as the sun beat down on the town of Larkspur Ridge. The saloon windows rattled, horses snorted nervously, and men leaned against buildings with squinted eyes and twitchy fingers. It was the kind of day that made decent folk stay indoors. Except today, a girl was being sold. Sheriff Mays stood aside, pretending not to notice. He had long ago learned it was easier to let certain men do what they would than to die trying to stop them. The crowd parted slightly as the girl's father, Elias Kerr, shoved her forward. She stumbled, but didn't make a sound. Her face was streaked with dirt and bruises, and her lips were pressed tight as if holding back years of words. "This here's my daughter," Elias sneered. "She don't talk, never has. Useless for chores, useless for marrying, but she's young, healthy, strong enough if you know how to train her right." The girl stared ahead blankly, her eyes wide, the green of them bright against the dust coating her face. She wore a tattered dress, one sleeve torn, and no shoes. A few murmurs drifted through the crowd. Some leered, some spat. Then a quiet voice rose. "I'll take her." Heads turned. Standing at the edge of the square was a man few ever noticed, because he never gave them reason to. Wade Mercer, the reclusive rancher from the South Valley. Tall, broad-shouldered, a man of few words and fewer friends. Elias chuckled bitterly. "Didn't know you took in strays, Mercer." "I'll pay you in coin, now," Wade said, his tone even, dangerous. "Or, I'll come take her later and you won't get a cent." No one doubted he meant it. Elias hesitated. "Fine, $10. Wade tossed a coin pouch on the ground. "Get gone." Without a word, Elias vanished, and the crowd dispersed with murmurs and headshakes. Only Wade remained, standing in front of the girl. He didn't touch her, didn't offer a hand. "You coming?" he asked softly. The girl blinked once, then nodded and followed him, barefoot, out of town. Chapter 2. Silence on the Ridge. The ride to Wade's ranch was long and silent, but not uncomfortable. He rode ahead on his black stallion, while she sat on a mule he'd borrowed from the livery. She didn't cry or flinch, just held tight and rode steady. The ranch was modest, 2 barns, a corral, and a cabin tucked between ridges of dry grass and scrub brush. Wade helped her down but didn't touch her arm. "This is home," he said. "If you want it to be." She nodded. Inside he gave her a room, warm water to wash, clean clothes that had once belonged to his late sister, and a plate of stew. She ate quietly, eyes darting to him, then away. "I won't ask your name," he said that night, watching the fire flicker. "Not till you're ready." Still, she said nothing, and so the days passed. Chapter 3. Her name was Clara. Wade had lived alone since his parents died in a barn fire when he was 17. Since then, he'd built fences, broken horses, and taught himself the quiet of solitude. But now, the cabin had a heartbeat again. The girl worked beside him, carrying water, folding linens, feeding chickens. She was efficient and fast, even if she still never spoke. One morning, he found a note on the table, written in careful, slanted letters. "Thank you. Clara." He stared at it for a long time. Clara. Her name was Clara. Chapter 4. Danger comes to Larkspur Ridge. Trouble arrived in the form of Buck Hanley, a saloon rat with a silver tooth and a Colt always half-cocked. He had once run with Elias Kerr in a cattle-rustling gang and had a nose for profit. "You heard?" he said, slamming whiskey on the bar. "Mercer bought himself a mute girl. Bet she's worth a look." The men laughed. But Wade heard. He was in town that day, picking up flour and wire. When Buck turned, Wade was standing behind him, quiet as the grave. "Say her name again," Wade said. "See what happens." Buck didn't. but his eyes narrowed. She worth killing over, Mercer? Without hesitation. Buck smiled, but it didn't reach his eyes. Chapter 5. The Sound of Her Voice. 3 weeks after Clara's arrival, a summer storm rolled in. Thunder cracked over the valley, and rain lashed the cabin. Wade came in soaked from moving the herd and found Clara huddled under the kitchen table, trembling. He knelt. "It's just rain, Clara." Her breathing was ragged, her eyes distant. Wade didn't press. He just slid under the table beside her, sat, and waited. After a while, she whispered, "He used to lock me in the storm cellar." Wade's breath caught. Her voice, low, raspy from disuse, was the most beautiful thing he'd ever heard. "You can talk," he said, shocked but gentle. "I forgot how," she whispered, eyes wet. "Thought if I never spoke he couldn't hurt me more." He reached for her hand, slow. "You're safe here. You never have to be afraid again." She didn't pull away. For the first time, she smiled. Chapter 6. Fire in the Night. Wade woke to smoke. The barn was ablaze. He raced outside, boots pounding earth, heart hammering. The horses screamed, and flames licked the sky. "Clara," he called. She appeared beside him, hair loose, a bucket in each hand. "No," he growled. "You stay back." "I'm not losing the only home I've ever had," she snapped, voice strong. Together they fought the fire. By dawn the barn was scorched but standing. 2 horses were gone, a fence was down, but they were alive. Buck had left his mark and his message. Chapter 7. Blood and Redemption. The next morning, Wade packed a rifle and a saddlebag. "I have to end this," he said. "He won't stop." Clara blocked the door. "I'm coming with you." "I'm not that scared girl anymore." He looked into her eyes, saw the fire there. Reluctantly, he nodded. They rode to Larkspur Ridge just past noon. Buck was lounging outside the saloon, smug as ever. Wade dismounted, rifle in hand. "Last chance, Buck." Buck spat. "Not gonna happen." The gunfight was fast. 3 shots cracked. 1 bullet grazed Wade's arm, 1 hit Buck's leg, the last dropped him cold. It was over. But the town saw it all, and something shifted. For the first time, they didn't look away. Chapter 8. A Voice That Heals. Weeks passed. Wade's arm healed slowly. Clara's voice returned, piece by piece. She laughed now, softly but often. She read aloud at night, sang to the chickens in the morning, and started painting wildflowers on the kitchen walls. One evening, Wade took her hand beneath the oak tree. "You saved me, Clara." "No," she said, eyes full of tears. "You saved me." He leaned close, lips brushing hers. "How about we save each other?" She kissed him then, sweet, slow, and full of every word she'd never said. Epilogue. Larkspur in bloom. A year later, the cabin had grown. New porch, fresh paint, a cradle by the fire. The townsfolk now waved at Wade when he rode by. Clara sold herbs and baked goods in town. She spoke freely, though still soft. One day, a young girl at the general store asked, "Miss Clara, how did you learn to talk again?" Clara smiled, her hand in Wade's. "Someone listened long enough that I remembered I had a voice."